another item. Dire situations require extreme measures. They dissipate the noise of percussion. Firing makes almost no sound. Darren, you're a man of unusual talents. Accordingly, the bar underground was situated in Pest, at 30 Thérèse Corroutier, in a cellar beneath the cinema.
Standard stuff there?
Grabbed her by her throat, and at last she looked alarmed. I don't intend to spare you anything, Annika. What did you spare me when you had the chance? I didn't think I needed to baby you. You rarely thought when we were together, and repeated every one of those thoughts to Stepan Spalko. Isn't that right? Why ask when you already know the answer, she said a little breathlessly. Savor the thought of revenge. Though he had no intention of showing, what she said shook him. He'd had no idea he'd revealed so much of himself to her. We were together a year, he said. A lifetime for people like us. 13 months, 21 days, 6 hours, she said. Because it was then I knew I couldn't control you as Stepan wanted me to. And why was that? Shouts to the small, anonymous room in a cheap hotel. The sounds of Budapest stirring penetrated the thin walls, goading Annika from her fitful sleep. For a time she lay immobile in the grave. She descended in the tiny, creaking elevator.
Where are you going?
Save for the day clerk behind the desk, the commensurately tiny lobby was deserted. She went out into bustling Budapest. The presence of Kevin McCall, a complicating factor, made her... Hassan Arsenov took immediate control of his little group. They had a vital function to perform, and he would make certain they performed it. They turned the corner and saw the security guard at his post near the large air discharge grill.
Pull out on me and then look 20 miles an hour.
Hold it right there, he said, bringing his machine pistol off his chest. They stopped in front of him. We're from Reykjavik Energy, Arsenov said in Icelandic, and then he held the hand of a dying young woman who couldn't speak, who could barely breathe, and yet who quite...
Number 1, Rimsky Korsakov's Scheherazade and Linker's Ruslan and Ludmilla Overture, an admissible matinee on the 28th of February from Classic FM's orchestra in the northeast of England, the Royal Northern Symphony.
They drove off, she looked around but didn't see McCall, though she was certain he'd been following her. A moment later, a battered dark green Opel threaded its way through traffic, wedging itself behind her taxi. Annika, peering into the driver's offside mirror, recognized the hulking figure behind the wheel of the Opel, and her lips curled in a secret smile. Kevin McCall had taken the bait. Now if only Bourne's plan would work. Stepan Spalko, newly returned to the Humanistas Limited headquarters in Budapest, was monitoring the international clandestine service cipher traffic for news on the summit when his cell phone rang. "What is it?" he said tersely. "I'm on my way to meet Bourne at 75 Hatsu Utsa," Annika said. Spalko turned and walked away from where his technicians were sitting at their deciphering workstations. "He's sending you to the Eurocenter Bio 1 clinic. He knows about Peter Gido. He said he had an exciting new weakness," Spalko said. "I'll take care of Gido, but you can't let him anywhere near his office then. In any event, Bourne's attention is initially going to be directed toward the American FedEx agent with a package for him. He signed for it and at once took it down to the basement, where he unlocked a room to which there was only
someone who was trying to...
Inside was a portable X-ray machine Conklin had procured for him. All packages coming to the webs were, unbeknownst to the children, run through this machine. Determining it was clean, Webb opened it.
What are you doing?
Inside were a baseball and 2 gloves. One for him and the other just the right size for an 11-year-old. He unfolded the accompanying note, which read simply,
What are you doing?
for Jamie's birthday. Joshua. Determining it was clean, Webb opened it. Inside were a baseball and 2 gloves. One for him and the other just the right size for an 11-year-old. He unfolded the accompanying note, which read simply, for Jamie's birthday. Joshua. David Webb stared at the gift, which meant more to him than anyone would ever know. Reaching out, he felt the supple grain of the leather, ran his fingertips over the rawhide stitching. What memories were stirring inside him? His smile, when it came to his face, was bittersweet. He slipped his hand into the larger of the gloves and threw the baseball into the heart of it, catching it